NBA TV and you, the fan, are constructing the perfect NBA player. Using skill sets and attributes for current players narrowed down through a survey in which GMs and head coaches have weighed in, here are the choices for this week's category. Who has the best jump shot in the NBA? Steph Curry.
Another one of those parking lot threes from Curry.
This man's pulling up from 35 feet with ease.
J.J. Redick.
J.J. Redick with that majestic three-point stroke.
Klay Thompson.
Thompson for three. Yes. Talk about catching fire here. Oh, my goodness.
Now it's up to you to vote for your choice right now on Twitter and help us build the perfect player.
Jump shooting this time around. You can vote on Twitter at NBA TV until noon on Friday. The candidates are the Splash Brothers and J.J. Redick. When this topic came up and we were presented these three candidates, my first reaction was, it's Steph.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then I gave it to you, and you guys said,
Steph.
yes. Okay. All right. Just so we're on the same page. And that's got nothing to do with the other two guys.
For me, he's the greatest shooter of all time.
Right.
Whether it's off the bounce, whether it's distance, whether it's catch and shoot, and there's so many criteria for me. And I think for me, it's contested now. That's the next thing we should start talking about, contested shoot. Who's the best contested shooter from distance? And it's Steph and KD, James Harden, and those guys. But I think overall, you give me Steph any day. And I love Klay. I think that's where we should start talking. Where do you rank Klay as all-time shooters?
Now, to go into the background, when we approached general managers, when NBA TV approached general managers about candidates for this, shooting form was part of the equation as well. And you might argue that you like J.J. Redick's form or Klay Thompson's form, which is classic, better than Steph's. In terms of results, for me, it's pretty hard to argue against Steph Curry. His worst season from three-point range, for instance, is only slightly off Klay's career average. Conversely, Klay's best three-point shooting season, 44% last year, is barely better than Steph's career number. And these are, again, great shooters, but you're talking about the best of all time.
Yeah, the best of all time. And look, you talk about the three-point shooting era that we're in right now, and all these great shooters Smitty talked about. Klay Thompson, you can even maybe throw J.J. Redick, Harden in there. These guys are some of the best in the game, the best that we've seen. And the separation between them and Steph, there's a huge gap in my opinion, in terms of shooting and all the criteria that Smitty alluded to. But Klay Thompson, what he does and how he shoots it, the quick release, the confidence, just off the charts. It's funny. We're in this era where everybody shoots threes, and not everybody necessarily should be shooting threes.
Right.
But when you watch Klay Thompson, it's like going to the ballet. Like it's a thing of beauty. And he and Steph combined, two of maybe the best of all time on the same team at the same time. It's pretty remarkable.
Matt, we've been around and doing games, all of us, and you come up with a stat and you say, and Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, right.
Steph is starting to be that for me.
He's going to be the end,
At the end, to me, if it goes well, it's going to be, we're going to talk about all these great shooters, and Steph is not going to be, we're going to be mentioning him like Wilt.
Right.
That stat is going to be so far put out of range. I think that's where Steph is going to be far as shooting.
In terms of three-point percentage, and jump shooting is more than threes, but Kyle Korver's got incredible career numbers, but he can't do the things that Steph Curry does off the move, off the dribble, in awkward situations. The range, he's redefined what's a good shot in the NBA. It's just, it's a different era because of that guy.
Yeah, for sure. There's some guys that flat out can shoot it. They're 3 for 5, 2 for 4. Well, this guy's 10 for 20. There's a difference. He's shooting a whole bunch of three-point field goal attempts, and he's shooting shots that was, for me, is in big-time games, in crunch time when they need him. So it's hard. It's unbelievable what he's doing with the guy when you start talking about shooting.
If he's the best jump shooter of all time, is number 2 on this list, or is it somebody else?
That's where I think we should start debating, and I would love for us to get into that. And I think he's the best all time, but that's when you got the Klay, the Ray, the Reggies. That's when we start to talk about who's number 2.
Then that'll be next season when we do our second most perfect player.
Second.
So look for that next year.